Hi you guys, this is Rachel Kirkland here, the Modern Shaman, and I am back. This is my YouTube channel. Thanks for being here. Thanks for those of you guys that tune in for a weekly video, and thanks for you that send in questions. All of these come from you, for you. So make sure you send your questions in. You just go to the website and go to the contact form and write it in there and tell me that it is a question for the YouTube channel. Also, if you're new, I always say welcome. This is the welcome moment. We're glad you're here. This is a beautiful community of people that's been growing. So share these with anybody that you feel like would resonate or would like to hear this information. And if you want to know more, if you want a one-on-one session with me, if you want to deepen your spiritual growth and go through some more classes and education with me, or if you want to know where I will be during my touring schedule, all of that is online on my website at themodernshaman.net. Okay, I said the spiel. Let's go into the question. Here's the question for today. It says, "Hi Rachel, I wanted to ask your advice on being famous. I've always been embarrassed to admit it, but I feel like I'm supposed to be famous. I always see visions of myself speaking to large audiences. I have had dreams about myself signing books for people, but I don't know what to do with this. I'm a confident person and my life is going well, but I don't know what to do with these visions of being famous. Again, I feel almost embarrassed to ask it. Is this just my ego? Do I need to just settle it down? Calm it, settle/calm it down? I'm not sure what to do from here." So my automatic thought that comes up when I first read your question is that if you're asking in humility and embarrassment if this is ego, it's probably not ego. Fame and coming from a place of ego would say, of course I'm going to be famous. Watch out world, here I come. This is me and everybody better stand back because I'm as big as they get. This is a space of ego. A space of ego does not say, I'm embarrassed that I'm seeing this vision of me talking on a stage or signing books for a book deal. That's humility. That is not pride and ego. So first of all, just recognize the space that you're in, all right? Ego would take all the credit, right? And right now, it doesn't sound like you're in that space. What I've found is that oftentimes when Spirit is leading us to a paradigm shifting change in our lives, an up-leveling of sorts, when they're moving us through big change that's monumental, oftentimes they will throw us a vision if we're clairvoyant, or show us a little bit of a hint. It's like seeing a little bit of what's behind the curtain. It's like dangling the carrot out there and saying, I'm going to throw you the line. And now I'm going to reel you this way. And it a lot of times is part of our natural course of action, but maybe we're a little hesitant. Maybe we're unsure of our path. Maybe we don't... Maybe we're not stepping into it with a lot of confidence. And so Spirit will show us a bit of the puzzle, give us one little puzzle piece and say, come this way, come this way. And oftentimes what we feel as desire is often a calling towards something that Spirit has for us. And so recognize when you are feeling longing for something, when you are feeling like, this is something I want, this is something I feel like I need to do, or this is something I just feel like is going to be important one day, even if you don't see the whole picture. Because most of the time, Spirit doesn't show us the whole picture. Because if they did, we'd be like, heck no, or there's no way I could get there. We'd really resist. But if they just give us one puzzle piece, or they just dangle that carrot of a small vision, of a little moment of signing that book, then you'll move forward with your energy of curiosity, of desire. So this is not a bad thing. When Spirit is showing you imagery of something, whether it's being famous, oftentimes when it's too big, like if they showed you in the arena or something, or they showed you living a life of a million, owning millions of dollars of just cars or households, I don't know, something, whatever felt like is out of reach to you, then it may push you backwards instead of moving you forwards. So notice that a lot of times these visions or this awareness of yourself has some current inside of you that's already desiring that. And validate it. Don't live in denial of it. Recognize what feels true for you. And if part of you aligns with this, move in the direction of what you're longing for. Admit that, yes, I do feel comfortable speaking in front of people. Yes, this is natural for me to have something to share, to feel like I want to guide others, to feel like I need to speak on this subject. I do know about this topic and people are listening. Recognize that. Don't deny what is present in you. There is absolute intelligence behind that. And denying who you are, denying your own sense of authority and why you've been put here will cause a sense of inner friction, of depression. So I want to say something else about this calling and moving you forward. Oftentimes when it has this view, like we have kind of spiritual views just in the ethics of our society, that it's better to be small, or it's better to be out of the limelight, or kind of like you said, is this just ego? Well, what happens when Spirit is trying to bring about a sense of purpose that actually is a larger platform? You were meant to be on the stage speaking, or you were meant to be writing a book. What happens when they are trying to give you that message? If you are combating that, moving against it, like I said, you will feel a sense of discourse within yourself. You will feel dissatisfied with the status quo, with your life. And this will start to become so uncomfortable that you have to give room for something new. So my piece of advice is, like, get comfortable with the fact that Spirit's showing a broad vision for you, a platform for you, and notice how that feels true and stand in that sense of truth. Then Spirit will start to pave that pathway of ways for you to speak on that platform, of topics that you need to write about, of speeches and things that need to be said. They will begin to open those doors to creating that sense of fame for you. Spirit has no problem with fame. Spirit doesn't judge that. Spirit doesn't look at the famous person and the non-famous person any differently. So don't get all confused by that. Like, there's no issue with the fame or the non-fame. If you are called to be famous, there's a point to what you need to say. Use it. What are you saying? What is the point of being on the stage? What are you supposed to be sharing? What is the book about? What is the message? What is your life giving luminance to? What's pouring through you? That's the point. Don't get caught up on the finger that's pointing, right? It's not about, if you see a sign like this, are you thinking about the finger? Or are you thinking, what is it they're pointing to? It's the direction that it's pointing to. It's not so much about the vision. It's like, what are you being called to say? Don't miss that. That's the point of it. That's where Spirit is moving you into. And so let there be an openness of flow of, like, all right, Spirit, where's the message? That's what really matters. I want to be used in a way that has trajectory to it, that has legacy to it, that has legs to stand on, that has a sense of making a difference in the world. Use me in that way. That feels like there's the fame itself is really just, it's supplemental, it's on the side. It's kind of irrelevant. It's like, what is your message? That's the relevant point. That's what you'll be held to, right? I would pay attention to the next step past that, which is, what is the message that you want me to share, Spirit? What is this book about? And maybe you already know. You probably do. If Spirit's putting those visions in your head, align as much as you can with the assimilation of being used for that process. Then stand in the responsibility of that. There's a lot being asked of you. Fame is not empty of responsibility. It's full of it. And when you take on platforms that hold collectives of people, there's a density to that energy of holding that collective, that world on your shoulders. It's not trivial and light and frivolous. So ask yourself now, what is the message that I need to share? What is Spirit calling me to say? And let the fame be secondary. Let it be useful. Use it. I'm going to sign off there. Blessings to you. I'll be back here next week with another video.